Hello guys and welcome to my channel. It's your girl Helen. So guys, in this video I'm going to be talking about practicum and why it is necessary for you to do a practicum before starting nursing school. So before I continue, I just want to say a big thank you to all my returning subscribers. And thanks to you too who hasn't subscribed but just watching this video. I hope you like this video enough to subscribe. Make sure to check out my other videos and give it a thumbs up and drop a comment. So first time I heard the word practicum was during my BTVI. That was in the year 2018. That was when I heard the word practicum, and I didn't really know what it meant. And I didn't know that it simply means industry training. Like in Nigeria, when I was in Nigeria, I was working. Where I was working, we had students come by for industrial trainings, and which is all the same thing as practicum, but I didn't know that. So when I heard that, because I was still new in Germany, when they talked about, someone tried to explain that to me, it didn't really make much sense. He said I could apply anywhere. I said also, he just tried to explain, but like it didn't really make sense at the time. So I am going to break down what practicum is and why you need to do it. A practicum is just an industrial training relating to one's work or one's field of study. It could be carried out within or outside the contents of your training or university, and is a form of educational programs like internships, clinicals, externships, and hands-on experience. You could also call it a form of on-site learning and experimental experience. So this is basically what practicum is all about. So you don't need to freak out each time you hear the word practicum. The thing is, it's simply not a big deal, but you have to apply for it just like you would apply for a normal job, which was why how I did mine. And the thing is, practicum is usually recommended for anyone who is just finding their way in the labor market, in the Germany labor market. So when I was in that stage, I was thinking of what to do. That was during my big fight, like I just said. I was thinking of what to do. What can I do? I was thinking of different things. So many things, like so many options came to mind. But I couldn't decide because I was a bit scared, skeptical. I don't even know why I was scared. Now I'm not scared anymore. I was scared because I didn't know much about the labor market here or the job market here. So nothing. And the language, plus language, it scares the hell out of people. Believe me, it scared the hell out of me. So it's a good way to get to know what you want, get to find out what you want, what you can do, what you cannot do, and that's it. So the thing is, there are different kinds of practicums, and one of them is the Pflicht practicum, which is a must practicum, which is what your school requires that you do, or your work requires that you do. So in that case, you have to do it. You cannot avoid it as long as you want to. You've decided that this is what I'm studying, or you're already in that course already, or you're already in that job. So the next one is the Freiwilliges practicum, which is the one you did out of free will. You just want to do it, just like the one I did. So you do a Freiwilliges practicum because you just want to do it because you want to get some sort of experience in that field. So in my case, I did a 2 weeks practicum, and I'm sorry, not 2 weeks, I did a 3 weeks practicum, which was very, very rewarding, I must say. And it kind of relieved some of the pressure and some of the stress during my first day of work. In addition to that, most of the nursing schools I applied in, they required practical experience, like maximum of 2 weeks practical experience, which I didn't have at the time. But I later decided to go for it. So the thing is about practicum, you might ask, why can I do a practicum? Now you can do practicum anywhere, depending on what you decide. Like I said, if it's a university recommended practicum or study recommended practicum, you have to do it in that area, in that specific area of study, in that specialized area. Now, if it's not, you're doing a Freiwilliges one, you're free to do it anywhere of your choice. Yeah, and not just anywhere. You can decide to do 2 weeks here, do 2 weeks there, and 3 weeks there, trying a whole lot of different things. Nobody's going to hold you. The thing is that you might not really get paid for it by the company, which you applied in, if you're going to do it like that, like if you're going to split it like that. But as long as you are getting money from the Agentur for Arbeit, you're getting money from the social services, you're good to go, you're cleared in that area. I mean, in the case of not getting paid. Yeah. So I know I already gave a hint on this one, I already mentioned it a bit, but I'm going to go into details now. Now the thing is, the question is, why do you need a practicum? Why you need a practicum? You need a practicum because so as to get an in-depth knowledge of what you're about to go into, of the kind of job, or get some sort of experience in your area of study, or any kind of thing, get a practical experience of it. That's basically it. And next is that you need to do a practicum because your job requires that you do it. Most importantly, you gain real world experience after doing a practicum, which is very nice. In addition, it is an excellent opportunity to to learn something, prove what you learned, and apply it in your course of study or in your job, which in this case is the Ausbildung, is the nursing Ausbildung. So it's a very good opportunity for you to apply it. Like, it gives you an insight, like I just mentioned. Like I previously mentioned. So the last but not the least reason why you need a practicum is that it gives an opportunity to, if you're lucky, you get to be retained in the company or the hospital where you did the practicum. So this way you don't really need to go looking for a job because your performance in the practicum phase was excellent, and you didn't really have to, you really have to stress yourself. You don't really have to stress yourself to go looking for a job, which I find really, really nice. Now, someone might ask how long it takes to do a practicum. A practicum takes about 2 to 3 weeks. It could be, if you're doing a 5-week practicum, it could be 2 weeks, it could be 3 weeks. You can decide to do for 3 weeks, you can decide to do for 1 year, you can decide to do for 6 months. And if it's a Pflicht practicum, your school decides, or your company decides, that's your work, decides where you need to do the practicum, or your university, in any case, whatever the case may be. So they will determine how long you need to do practicum. But in the real world, like I already mentioned, if you're doing it Friday, you can do for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 1 week. But just know you're not getting paid. Just when it's feel like that. Okay, you might have a question, why can I do a practicum? Now in this case, you can do a practicum at a hospital, in a firm, in a company, any way you want, anywhere of your choice. You can do this practicum. So you just need to, all you need to do is put up your credentials, apply just like you would apply for a normal job. Put on your CVs and everything. So you might ask, what do I have to do during a practicum? So in a practicum, you work, but you're not left alone. You are never left alone. And you have a supervisor, you get supervised. You are never left alone. And you get mentors and people that tell you what to do or direct you in things to do, just so that you're never left alone. As much as you're given some jobs to do, some tasks, the tasks are not really difficult ones. So you just have to watch. At some point, you may have to, engage in some tiny ones. So these are the things that are really expected of you. Nothing really much. And like I said, it depends on where you're working. Depends on your work, what kind of responsibility they want to give you, or the company. Overall, that's the deciding point or factor. And this is because you're not an employee. You're there to learn, to watch. This is what you're there for. And in some cases, if some jobs get appointed to you or assigned to you, you have the right to say, I don't want to do it. And if some jobs get assigned to you, you have the right to say, I can't do this, I don't trust myself enough to do this, I cannot do it. And nobody's going to fight you, or nobody's going to punish you for not doing it, and basically get away with most things that the employees wouldn't get away with. So again, like I already mentioned, you might or might not get paid depending on the company, depending on where you work, and depending on your duration of the duration of your practicum. And in conclusion, you get a recommendation letter from your practicum, from your employee, and do not forget to get one at the end of your practicum if you decide to do one. So I hope this video will helps you enough. I mean, it's good enough, or it's helpful enough for you to decide to do a practicum. If you want to become a Pflegefachmann, depending on where it is, in the kinder, in the Altersheim, or in the Erwachsenen, that is adult care, all you need to do is just do a practicum. You can do a practicum. Like I said, practicum helps a lot. It really helped me. I must say that. I must confess, it really helped me. Your language skills doesn't matter in this case. Okay, I hope this video must have helped in one way or the other. Okay, please decide to leave a comment if you like this video and give it a thumbs up. Okay, and please do not forget to subscribe to my channel. I'm gonna see you guys in my next video.